Welcome back to another episode of Ori and the Blind Forest. Last time we recovered the wind tree and we recovered the light to the wind tree, and now we're being chased down by Kuro, which we learn actually she's not evil or anything of that sort. She just trying to protect her last surviving baby from the light, which killed her surviving baby, or not surviving, they're dead, which killed her three other chicks. And as such, she's naturally angry because she lost 3 kids. So, in this section, you're tasked to basically, it's like the Scarecrow level in Batman. Essentially, Kuro will be stalking you. And in order to hide from Kuro, unlike what it did there, you will have to hide in front of some background scenery. Like, for example, this area, there's bark behind me, and right here I'm wide open to an attack. So early on you see me planning my attack, if you will, just because it's not obvious as to where to go. You just have to essentially go with it. And yeah, it's interesting how it's changed the rhythm of the game, so to speak. Instead of, you know, flying through the air using all your cool abilities and stuff, you're hiding. You're tense throughout this whole situation because you don't honestly know 100% where to go. You have an idea. You saw some stuff in your peripheral, but even still, you are tense. Any moment now, she will strike. In terms of when you're in the open, it's a time thing, so you do have some time to react. But even still, you are very on edge throughout this situation. The music doesn't help. It does have that feel to it as well, where you're gonna get killed soon. Only problem is it's really short-lived. In a way, I kind of wish that section lasted a little longer, just so it could, I guess, I don't know. I kind of wish that section were to last a little longer. It was really exciting considering I felt very vulnerable throughout the whole ordeal. I guess I haven't felt that way in such a long time in this game. Pretty much in the beginning of the game is when I felt that, when I had no ability to attack and I was basically running away from everything, until I got the little flame fairy thing. I forgot her name, but yeah, until I got her, I was very vulnerable. But besides that, I like the fact that this game, Antaganist, is not an evil, you know, a run-of-the-mill bad person, I guess, bad owl in this case. It just, you could relate to what she's doing and why she's doing it. It's not as if, you know, oh, I'm evil just to be evil, you know, hate me. It's a complicated character, and surprisingly, not many games does that either. Last time I talked about how not many games give you challenge, and now I'm talking about how many games don't even give character to the bad guy. And the fact that this game does it is very refreshing. So, like I said, it's not a enemy in which, you know, you hate her because she's bad, or the game is trying to portray it, you know, or rather, in Far Cry 3, you I guess, depending who you are, but the bad guy was a bad guy because he killed your brother, and he's a dick about it, and he's chasing you down like a wild animal. In this game, the bad guy has motivation as to what she's doing. She lost her kids, and the source of that loss is the light of the Force. You are the light of the Force, and in order to prevent that, she wants you dead. That's the only way I could see it. I could explain it, is that she wants you dead so her kids could live, and that adds a lot of character to the Kuro character. I don't know. I really like that fact that I. It kind of sucks that she may be the final boss, but at the same time, it has to be done. If I have to kill her in the end, well, I need to do that in order to protect the Force, and that's terrible. It's the last game they did that was Shadow of the Colossus, sort of, kind of. These Colossus, they are not bad. They're just minding their own business. You're essentially the antagonist of the game because you're killing all these creatures just to save one person. Essentially, that one person to you is worth 10 lives, and your own life essentially in the end. Spoilers. Well, you don't die, you just become a child, and you know what, you just become a child. You can't really, she's basically taking care of you now, but whatever, she's alive. So your task to kill these Colossus, like I said, these Colossus oftentimes don't do anything. Actually, most of the time the Colossus, except for a few exceptions, because like in the wild, some animals will attack you out of, you know, instinct and or out of self-defense. So most of the Colossus, at least in the first two, they won't do anything to you at all. They will just walk right past you. As soon as you begin to hit them, that's when they attack and try to defend themselves, of course, because you're murdering them. Well, at first you're not hurting them because they don't get hurt unless you hit the weak spot, but you're killing them just to save one person. That's basically the motivation you're running throughout the whole game, and for the player that's good enough. But when you start to think about it, you are the bad guy in that game, and it adds a lot of complexity to the character. That game, they don't say anything. Rather, the main character doesn't say anything. Like in this game, the main character doesn't say anything at all, nor does Kuro. But those games were able to portray a lot of character to their characters, a lot of personality to their characters, a lot of complexity to the characters, because of the fact that they added that backstory to it. That what's that phrasing? Character development. They didn't have to do much, but they did enough for you to be like, oh damn, I might have to kill this guy, and all she's doing is protecting her baby, huh? So it makes you think, about what you're doing and if it's all worth it in the end. In this game, it should be, considering the forest has been, you know, ravaged throughout this whole time, throughout the time Ori was away. So yeah, it would be worth it, but at the same time, it still sucks. I don't know. That's my thoughts on that subject. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Does character need more complexity, and especially the bad guys, or can they be these forgettable, you know, just a means to an end character, as in they're there because you need motivation, and that's the little motivation they're gonna give you. Just, you know, hey, I'm bad. If you don't stop me, I would do bad things, kind of thing. And definitely let me know why, because I don't see a reason for antagonists to be one-dimensional. And yeah. But besides that, Game is awesome, except for the at points when it decides I need to not constrain your mouse. That's why you see me going to menus a few times in this video, a couple of times to be exact, where I have to full screen it because for some reason my mouse is outside the boundary and therefore kicks me out of full screen and I have to go back into full screen. It's kind of annoying. I know I mentioned this before, but it's still a persistent problem that I don't know how to fix as of yet. I need to go to the PC gaming wiki and see if there is a fix for it. If there's not, I just have to do more of an effort to keep it in line, keep it within the boundary. Make sure I see my mouse at all times. Like right now, it's right there next to the glow spirit link thing, next to the frog now. I just need to make sure that it's there at all times, but that could have been avoided just by having it locked in the screen. Most likely the developers had controller in mind. I say this because the controllers, or rather the controls themselves, can't be rebinded. At least that's what it looks like. They may be able to be rebinded through the INI files. I haven't looked, but it seems as though it's static, which sucks because like for example the shift key, the Kuro's feather and the climb, I believe there's one more. Actually there is one more. You'll see later on in this video there's one more that's bind to shift, which no it's not, I'm sorry, it's not bind to shift, but because Kuro feather and climb is bind to shift, it has some odd interactions. But I'm using a PC. I have 100 and some odd keys. Give me the option to split my keys. I want Kuro's feather to be one key and I want climb to be another. Actually, if they could have made Kuro's feather like control, that might have been perfect, and shift as climb. But usually games that comes this ported from the Xbox One or the Xbox does not have that option to rebind controls usually. And one of the exceptions I found was what game was it? Oh man, Dust and Elysian Tale. That's a incredible PC port. They have high res. A lot of the assets are hand drawn, and you have the option to up-res it because it's a PC. PC could do stuff like that, unlike the consoles. And it has rebindable controls and colorblind, which many AAA titles don't even have, which is crazy to me considering, you know, not everybody was born with the perfect genetics. There's some, this is gonna sound horrible when I say it in this manner. There's some quote unquote, how do I put this? I won't say defect, but mutations that inhibit full functionality of whatever. So wow. So yeah, that sounded so bad. It could have definitely been taken out of context. Oh man. But yeah, there's not everybody's born perfectly. So if there's a guy who was born without the ability to distinguish between green and red, or blue and yellow, I believe is one of them, or just blue in general, whatever, you give that colorblind option, and of course give rebindable controls, because you just don't know someone's situation. Over at Reddit, I read that someone for the longest time had his hand like pretty much destroyed, so he was only able to use one hand for the longest time, and as such he had switch his controls up and basically learn new shortcuts and whatnot. And so he had to basically relearn how to use the computer with one hand. And another Reddit post I saw where a guy was permanently paralyzed, some section of his body, I don't remember where. However, he was forced to learn how to play StarCraft, with the minimal use of his left hand and his right hand, basically using his palms and other control method in order to control it. It's odd. It's I remember there was a post a while back where he actually live streamed it, and he's really high. I won't say high because whatever is above me is high, but he was like silver or gold in terms of the StarCraft ranking, which is amazing considering I have functionality of every part of my body in terms of you know, controlling a game, yet I can't win a game of StarCraft. Well, he's dedicated, unlike I am. Woo! New ability. Basically, it's like the shine spark from Metroid, but without having to run. If you ever played Metroid, essentially when you run, you can hold your charge and charge in any direction. Only difference in this game, you just charge for a certain distance, as opposed to in Metroid, you charge until you hit a barrier. And yeah, that's our last ability, looks like. What was I saying before? Developers needing to add more options to the game. People joke around TB a lot about FOV sliders, but simulation sickness is an actual real thing. It prevents people from playing a whole genre of games just because they physically they can't handle the odd viewing angle. And so, here's the section in which the keys kind of mess me up. But yeah, they can't handle the odd viewing angle and such. They get sick. It's as if they same effect as if you're in a boat and you get seasick. It's just it's similar concept, but different science behind it. It's just sad that it takes pseudo indie developers in order to actually implement those features into the games, and you will think the AAAs will know better, but it takes up development costs and time that they don't want. And of course, why take time doing that for the PC when you're focused on the console as opposed to the PC? Because console sells more. No, it actually doesn't. You got a bigger market on the PC. You got a bigger potential market on the PC as well. But whatever. That's up to them to, you know, ruin their consumer base. It's not like I'm the PR guy or anything. But yeah, that's my rant about, you know, antagonists in games and having, you know, options for the player, i.e., you know, control options, just options to make the game playable for some. But this video is coming to a close, so definitely let me know down in the comment section what you think about antagonists in games, and of course anything else, whatever. Rate the video if you like it, rate it as well if you dislike it, and definitely if you enjoyed this video and want to watch more of it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That way you could get the latest videos as soon as they become available. See you guys next time.